With all the talk about Ritidian and the proposal for a surface danger zone, members of the Guam Legislature wanted to see for themselves what's all the fuss about.
I like to go out and see the properties and see what the impact would be. I want to know firsthand. I could never speak on something that I don't know anything about, so I wanted to educate myself first.
Speaker Judy Wampat spearheaded a tour for members of the Guam Legislature of the Ritidian property in light of concerns raised by the recent Draft SEIS and Congresswoman Malin Bordalio's introduction of H.R. 4402. Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz and Senator Tina Muñoz Barnes were in attendance along with other legislative staffers.
It's very unfortunate because we learned so much in terms of about 1,000 of our ancient graves are here, and the pictographs that are here, handprints that are there. And, we were told basically that take a look at it right now, take a picture, because this might even be the last time that anyone will ever be able to see it.
Wampat says the presence of laddiestones, lusungs, and hand paintings at Ritidian makes her believe even more that the property is an ancient village. After the tour, a briefing was given by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the U.S. Geological Survey on what possible impacts a surface danger zone could have on services. Wildlife biologist Tom Hinkle gave a presentation on the efforts to eradicate the brown tree snake and the reintroduction of endangered native birds to Guam.
A lot of work has already been done to reduce the snake population down here. A barrier fence was set up, and a lot of trapping is going on to reduce the snake population. And for them to close it, all of this work that we've already put out is going to just be wasted.
The Ritidian visit comes less than 24 hours after Bordalio met with both Republicans and Democrats on H.R. 4402, where she told KUAM the measure was important for the buildup, especially its inclusion in the FY15 National Defense Authorization Act.
Would you say, will the buildup still move forward without including H.R. 4402 into the...
It'll be delayed, and then there may be a very good chance of it being canceled completely and maybe going elsewhere, which would be very unfortunate.
So this is kind of necessary.
That's right.
Speaker Wampat, however, doesn't believe it's so.
That's totally false because I asked that same question, and I asked that specifically of Mr. Ludovici, who made that comment, and he was taken out of context, and he said that they didn't quote everything that he said because he said very clearly that there are those other alternatives, and it's not until the rat comes out is where they would say give their preferred choice. And he said that, and if this is not going to be the preferred choice, then there are definitely other choices that they have gone through the analysis following the NEPA process. So that's totally false.
However, it was during a congressional subcommittee meeting on H.R. 4402 in the nation's capital, where both the Navy and the Fish and Wildlife testified on H.R. 4402. During that hearing, Chairman John Fleming asked Joint Guam Program Office Director Joseph Ludovici about the time frame to resolve the interagency conflict between the Fish and Wildlife and the military regarding the SDZ.
What is the time frame for the service and the Navy to produce language both sides can agree to?
So we are about to start our public meetings on Guam in May. With our draft SEIS that was released 2 weeks ago, we are in the process of collecting all the input. We are targeting getting a final decision on alternative sometime this fall. If I have to change from my current preferred alternative to select some other options, I'm a year extending my overall process. I cannot afford a year extension based on the domino effect on our agreement with Japan and consolidating Marine Corps bases in Okinawa. So the agreement, I think, right now is in our 15 budget. We've got to resolve this as part of our fiscal year 15 budget. So I don't have a specific date, but I can't defer this till next year.
Ludovici will be on Guam during this Saturday's public meeting on the draft SEIS. Wampat, meanwhile, encourages everyone to attend that meeting or at least submit comments. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.